Hello. Today we are going to see the class of Level 5, File 1A, Simple Present and Present Continuous Action and Non-Action Verbs. Okay, first we're going to state the difference between using the present simple or simple present and the present continuous. And then we're going to see the action and non-action verbs. So what is the simple present? In the simple present, here, we have some examples of the simple present. And we can see the uses. We have two uses of the simple present, 1 and 2. Use number 1, use number 2, and then we have, well, these are the examples and these are the uses. Okay? So we have there. In the first one, we use the simple present for things that are always true or that happen regularly. For example, I work in a bank. She studies Russian. We don't have any pets. Jack doesn't wear glasses. Okay? Where do you live? Does your brother have a car? All of these sentences are things that are true or that happen regularly. Okay? Then, in number 2, the second use for this is we often use the simple present with frequency adverbs or adverbs of frequency, like usually, never, or expressions of frequency, like every day, once a week. Okay? I am never late for work. We only eat out once a month. We're going to remember that the adverbs of frequency, okay, the adverbs of frequency go before the main verb. Okay? I am never late for except with the verb be. Okay? And then we have the expressions of frequency go at the end of the sentence. Okay? For example, you can say, I never drink coffee in the afternoon. So if I say, I never drink, okay, that goes before the main verb. So we have the adverb of frequency and then the main verb. The adverb of frequency and then the main verb. All right? Now, these are the two uses for the simple present. For the present continuous, here you have some examples. Who are you waiting for? I'm waiting for a friend. Is your sister still going out with Adam? No, they broke up. She isn't going out with anyone right now. We're going to remember that the present continuous, all of the continuous or progressive sentences finish in ing. The ing is called the gerund. So we're going to use that gerund or the ing verb. The verb in ing with the verb be in the present are, am, is, because it's the present and continuous. Okay? So we have here present continuous. Okay? And what are the uses of the present continuous? We use the the present continuous, not the simple present, for actions in progress at the time of speaking. For example, things that are happening now and around the time of now. These things are usually temporary or they're not habitual actions. It means they don't happen regularly. Okay? Here, remember the spelling rules of this. And then in 1B, we're going to use also the present continuous or future arrangements, but that is another thing. This is the present continuous as present. for things that are happening right now, in this moment. Okay? So these are the two differences. The present simple is used for things that happen regularly, and the present continuous is for things that are happening in the moment of speaking. Okay? Now, action and non-action verbs. What are non-action and non-action verbs? Action and non-action verbs. Action verbs are verbs which describe actions, for example, cook, make, can, and can be used in the simple present or in the present continuous, except for can. I am making lunch. I usually make lunch at the weekend, so you have to. I I I am cooking the dinner. I usually cook dinner at 7. So you can use it in the present continuous with ing, or you can use it with adverbs of frequency, like usually in the simple present. And the non-action verbs, or they're also called stative verbs because they describe states or feelings, not actions. For example, love, need, be. They're usually not used in the present continuous, that is only in the simple present. Okay? These are some of the verbs. The stative or non-action verbs, they describe mental states, emotional states, possessions, sense of perceptions, and other existing states. That's why they're called stative verbs or non-action verbs. It's the same. Here are some common non-action or stative verbs: existence, be, seem, look, sound. Okay, in these, the ones that have an asterisk, the situation determines whether the action is action or non-action verbs, depending on the situation. That's why they have an asterisk there. But they're usually these ones, like know, remember, forget, understand, hear, seem, own, possess, belong. These are some of the verbs. Okay. So, what are action and non-action verbs? Are you cooking? What are you cooking? I'm making pasta. Great, I love pasta. And then you have some of the action and non-action verbs here. What are you cooking? I am making pasta. Oh, I love pasta. These two are action verbs, and this one is a non-action verb. What are you looking for? My car keys. I need them now. In this case, what are you looking for? Is an action verbs, and I need them now, it's a non-action verbs. Okay, if you need more information for this part, you can go to your book and look on page that's the exercise. Well, that is on page 132. You have the grammar explanation, you have the examples here, and two exercises, exercise A and exercise B. For exercise A, you have complete the sentences with the simple present or the present continuous form of the verbs in parentheses. Okay? We don't go to Chinese restaurants very often. Okay? So we're using here the expression very often. And in the expression very often, it's a non-often, it's a frequency adverb. Okay? And it's going to depend on the situation, and it's going to depend on the situation where you're going to use the simple present or the present continuous. You're going to read the sentence, and then you're going to write this verb. In this case, the verb have. You're going to see that we usually use action and non-action verbs with each of these two tenses. We're going to use the action verbs regularly in the ing form, or in the present continuous, but the non-action verbs are not used in the ing form of the present continuous. Okay, so you're going to look at the situation and then to this. You're going to answer this. And in part B, you're going to circle the correct form, the simple present or the present continuous. I don't believe, I'm not believing. You cook this meal yourself. Remember that the verb believe is a stative verb, so you cannot say the verb with ing. So it's I don't believe. And if you see here in the example, you have comes, is coming, doesn't want, isn't wanting, and you're going to see if the verb is stative or non-action, or if it's an action verb, and then you're going to choose depending on the situation. Okay, we're going to check these two exercises in class. If you need further explanation, just rewind the video and we're gonna see this in class.